Thank you all. The first item on our agenda today would be to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Before I hear a motion to accept those, I'd like to make a change, please. If we could note on page 1, about the middle of the page where it says Standing Rules Committee, that actually should be the Affairs Committee. That is what Linda Spalding is the chairperson of, and that is the committee that has been working toward establishing a code of conduct and rules of ethics for people that are associated with the District Delegate Assembly. So does anyone else have any more changes they would like to submit for the meetings before we look for a motion?
The last item says we would meet on Thursday, August 5th. We're here today on August 1st.
Where's that, Craig?
The very last item.
There. Okay, do that. Diligence is July shortly. Where would now?
Right.
The best is the last regular and scheduled funding test.
Yes, you're correct. If we're going to leave it the way it should, we should say the 1st. The confusion comes because there is a workshop on the 5th, but the way it's written, let's just make that change.
I can see how the mistake may have been made.
Cal, I have a comment. Maybe it's not appropriate at this time, but on the 3rd page, under member comments of David Healy, they talked about $22,000 for HOA for golf and food and beverage. I would like to see that a little more defined. To me, it's a little generic. If it's not appropriate on this note, then I understand, but I wanted to bring it to the Assembly's attention.
So I'm not sure, you want an itemization of the 22,000? Is that what you're asking for?
Yes, well, slight. I mean, is it for golf fees? Is it for green fees? Is it for...
You want to know how much went to golf and how much went to food and beverage?
What are they going to do? Where, when, and why? It doesn't have to be detailed, but if not appropriate...
G, what that was the amount that charity paid the association for all of their food and beverage, golf usage, everything for Charity Week. That's what it was for. So it was what they paid Sun Lakes for what they used here at Sun Lakes during that week.
So it's passed. They're reimbursing.
Oh yeah, they're reimbursing. Yeah, that's what the revenue that Sun Lakes brought in from having charity here during that week.
Okay, so it's past reimbursement.
That's
not
correct.
Future expense.
Not future. Nope. Past reimbursement.
If that wants to be defined, so be it. I'm satisfied.
Any other changes or amendments? Yes, Anita.
On page 2, under Recreation Department report, it should be music under the stars, not music under the start.
Accuracy is elite.
Any other notations or changes? Do we have a motion to accept the the minutes with the... Yes, Carly.
I second.
Carly moves to accept the notes with the noted exceptions, and it was seconded by Anita. And show of hands, please. All in favor? And we'll call it unanimous. Okay, the next item that we have on the agenda would be more words from me. At our July 5th workshop, we kind of concluded our collection of ideas on people's thoughts on how we can possibly contribute to the community by changing small things or here or there that are for community benefit or the benefit of the delegates as they try to proceed to do their jobs here at Sun Lakes. Now that that's finished, we move on to the phase where I've sent everybody a sheet for them to rank the importance. There are 43 different suggestions. They're each going to rank them. Then we'll average those, and the most important one goes first, and we'll talk through eventually all 43 of those particular issues. That's what we kind of are doing at the workshops. If it's so moved by the delegates, then we would actually work on a motion to bring back to this floor and have a formal vote on it with everyone here in a quorum to actually put that into motion. And that's the other part of what we're doing in workshops. We've had pretty good luck, not luck, it's hard work, and perhaps some successes in the two committees that were enacted. In the Affairs Committee, which is chaired by Linda Spalding, she has started a pretty good body of work on how we might document the best type of behavior that we could show the association. And the Rules Committee has been very good about coming through and actually creating a body of work that says this is what is allowed by the association charter, and this is what the Delegate Assembly is going to do to say these are the rules we live by. So they will tell you each about that in their upcoming report. The only other thought I have is just something that I'd heard some time back, and it kind of ties to what I was talking about at the end of last meeting that we had, and that was regarding how do we actually work well with one another in a body like Sun Lakes. One of the things that is often misunderstood is people either do not hear correctly or they're passing rumor, and it can create a lot of problems. And I reflected on something I'd heard, and that was that if we hear something, and before we pass it on, we really ought to know if it is true. Yes, you heard it from somebody and you may trust them, but before it's passed on, we really should know if it's true. And the next thing we probably would want to ask ourselves is this kind? Do I want to say this thing even if it's true, if it's not kind? And the last thing might be, is it necessary? Because there are certain truths that are necessary and unpleasant and must be said, but that should be the very last resort. Sometimes people say a lot of things and repeat a lot of things, and it tends to create problems that are unintended, simply because it really wasn't true to begin with and wasn't really necessary to be said. And that is all I have at this moment in time. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll go to the next item on the agenda, which would be our guest speakers. And first we have Michelle Walter for community awareness, as well as Welcome Home.
Good afternoon, delegates. Michelle Walter, coordinator for the Community Awareness Program. I'm not going to look up because I really need to read all of this, so excuse me for not, or forgive me for not looking up at you, but I want to make sure that you understand what I'm trying to get across here. Our next presentation is this coming Tuesday, August 6th. This is our Health and Wellness Expo presented by Supervisor Gutierrez's office. There will be over 20 vendors from Riverside County. Supervisor Gutierrez is excited in bringing this to our community. I'm hoping we're going to have a great turnout for him. Unfortunately, there is and has been a terrible abuse of the Main and North Clubhouse pool and spa rules. I'm asking the delegates to please put in your newsletters, if you can, the following: Rules and Regulations 6.05. Use of the community pool and spa facility is limited expressly to residents and their guests. Guests under the age of 16 are permitted to use the Main and North Clubhouse pools between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. daily when accompanied by a resident. Children under the age of 16 must be out of the pool by 2 p.m. Residents must sign in and register themselves and their guests when entering the pool and spa facilities. Children under 3 years old are not allowed in the pool or spa. No swim diapers, training pants are allowed at any time for anyone. California state law prohibits the use of glass containers and breakable objects at the pool and spa. Smoking is not permitted within the gated area that surrounds the Main and North Clubhouse pool. Use of the spa is restricted to residents and their guests 16 years of age or older. Persons under the age of 16 are not permitted in the spa at any time. Any violation of the above stated rules subject residents to possible disciplinary action by the association. Again, I've continually put this in my articles regarding speeders. It is so easy to do a California stop and not look before proceeding. I almost got hit twice, coming into Sun Lakes and going out of Sun Lakes today. Please stop at all stop signs. Make sure you look both ways. If you don't, the other motorists may run the stop sign and you won't even know. We want to have our community to stay safe and informed. If anyone is interested in being part of the community awareness program, or if you have any ideas for future presentations, please feel free to contact me. Any questions? Linda? Jeannie, just a sec.
Is the rules and regulations that you just read, where are they printed?
You can get them online, and it's rules and regulations, and the number is 6.05. There's two places you can get them. When you first log into, or when you first go onto our website, it'll say community. You can go right on there and not even have to log in. It's right there. So all the rules and regulations are right there.
Okay, those aren't the ones that are in the phone book.
Well, yes, they would, but they're not in the phone book this time around.
Okay.
Yes. Jeannie?
Yes, I had one of my residents ask me, they're going on vacation for 2 weeks, and her daughter is coming to house sit and wanted to know if she could use the pool while she's house sitting for her mother. Is that allowed, or?
I'm going to refer that to Jason. He's shaking his head, absolutely no.
No, unfortunately, she's still considered a guest, and as the rules state, the guest must be accompanied by a resident. Now, if her mother had friends here and, they wanted to all go to the pool together with the resident, then that's fine there, but she would have to be accompanied by a resident.
Thank you.
Charlie?
Yeah, do the monitors know about all the rules, and are they able to enforce them properly?
They are
Refer
able
that
to,
to Jason.
they have the power to enforce them. They are made aware of the rules. What we've had issues with is more residents pushing back when they try to. I had one incident where the residents were playing music. The officer or the guard tried to say, please turn it off. They proceeded to have a vote from all the residents in the pool and outnumbered to say, yes, we want the music. And that's the kind of situation they're being put into. Again, you guys, with our monitors, a lot of times we're not getting someone who is seasoned well enough to stand up to their elders. It's a little tough sometimes when you're young and, you have someone that may be your grandparents' age saying, who are you to tell me I'm not going to do this? It has been a tough time to try to get somebody that has no problem doing that. So we're still working on that as well. But they do have the power to enforce. They know that if they have issues, and we had it this past week, they can call Securitas and they'll come up there and help them as well. We even had a situation where we had to call Banning PD. So they're even pushing back with Securitas as well. The last incident was with a raft. The resident was told not to have it in there. They proceeded to not give their name, number, would not get out, cause some problems. So that's the type of stuff we're going on, but we are trying to combat it and trying to find people that can say no. So
Thank you.
Any other questions? Dolores?
This is actually for Jason. You just mentioned a raft. Are you talking about the raft that you lay on? Because one resident in District 3 called and found out you can have the raft, the floaty that you just sit inside. It's not-
right. No, these ones are like full on rafts
Okay.
that you're laying on. These aren't like the
Okay.
noodles that have the little seats and stuff.
Okay, want to clear that up. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, well, I'm back again for Welcome Home and Marketing Committee. We had our Welcome Home dinner on Thursday, July 25th. We had 65 new residents attend. Absolutely awesome. However, we did have 9 no-show. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news. We are not going to re-invite them to the next Welcome Home. However, I will give the delegates the new homeowner packets to distribute to the residents, so at least they get the benefits of the items we have included in the packets. So I will give you those packets. We had the clubs and groups in half the ballroom again, and it seemed to be a big success. However, I know it was warm in there, and in the future, I will have a water station available for everyone. You learn new things each time. The clubs and groups gave me great feedback and seemed to really enjoy talking to all the new homeowners. Many of the clubs attending received new members, which is exactly what's encouraged. We will be redesigning our coupon books. Some of your residents at this last one did not receive a coupon book. I do have their name and addresses. Once we reorder, I will make sure I give them to you and you can hand them out to your new residents. Here are the stats from July 1st to July 31st. Active or coming soon is 43 homes and 1 condo. Home price is from $355 to $580. Condo price $289, $750. In escrow, 16 homes and 2 condos. Condos from $295 to $385. Home prices from $249 to $515. Closed escrows as of July 31st were 12 homes and 5 condos. 12 homes prices from $350 to $565. 5 condos prices from $305 to $345, which now means $2,190 times 17 homes is $37,230 that is going into our replacement fund. I was so excited about that. We are still getting in our new homeowner survey cards, so out of 65 so far, 40% of the new residents are still working, 35% were interested in golf, 72% of them said it was important to have a restaurant on site, so that's a good thing. Just FYI, the marketing committee along with the restaurant and lounge committee is working on a fabulous grand opening for our new lounge. We have some wonderful ideas, are getting great feedback from our viewpoint survey that our residents are submitting. I would encourage those of you who have not taken the survey, please take the time to complete it. It takes less than 2 minutes. This is totally confidential. Any questions? Oh, good, thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. And next on our agenda, we have the Honorable Sherry Flynn, our councilwoman for District 3, and she's going fresh from a legislative victory, shall we say.
Okay, greetings. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. District delegates and everyone here is from Sun Lakes. I'm going to go fast because I only have 5 minutes, but I appreciate you inviting me back here again.
Take whatever time you need.
Okay. I'm going to start with Banning Point. As you know, on July 9th, Banning Point came up for a rescission of the project, which was done in a consent, and then also it came up for a new project approval or send it back or start over. And I'm just going to give briefly, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but just a little background. It was first rescinded in 2022 due to unacceptable probability of bias by Mary Hamlin. That's what the judge ruled. Past action requested of the judge a supplemental environmental impact report, EIR, to be done due to changes to the circumstances surrounding the project, mainly the extension of Sun Lakes Boulevard to Sunset and the future Sunset Crossroads project of 10 warehouses from Highland Home Road to Sunset. In a 3-2 vote, myself, Happy, and Rick Manharis voted to instruct staff to draft a resolution denying the design review of the project, but in a 5-0 vote to allow the parcel map to remain as is. After I requested a couple different motions that were rejected by the city attorney, I asked that it be sent back as a denial for the design review, and a new resolution would be presented at the August 27th meeting. I gave 4 findings to support the denial and why the project does not conform to the city's general plan. One is the project does not protect noise-sensitive land uses, including the adjacent residential senior community of Sun Lakes, nor the lake's memory care. 2, the project does not maintain the quality of life for the neighboring property owners. 3, it interferes with the uses and enjoyment of the neighboring properties. And 4, it's incompatible with the surrounding neighborhood of the senior Sun Lakes and neighboring healthcare facility. So those are all requirements of the general plan, which they were inconsistent with. Unfortunately, there's a little blurb going on where the developer is now saying that we need to redo the public hearing, and due to unacceptable bias by David Happy, and myself. And if we do not recuse ourselves, they will file a $25 million lawsuit against the city. Their reasons are fictitious. They don't hold water. I do not have to recuse myself. The question is, why didn't they ask that at the beginning of the meeting? They knew information about past action, that I was the vice president on there. And then they also quote Happy after the fact, after the denial was passed. He put in a Facebook post that said why he approved it the first time and why he denied it this time, and they're saying that's unacceptable bias. But we had already denied the project. They're saying that the hearing is still continuing, that it was not closed, but it was closed. So just to let you know, a heads up, if Mr. Happy recuses himself, then it will be a 2-2 vote, and the denial, the motion to for denial and the resolution will fail. Heads up.
With the city.
Mike, could you use your microphone?
Whose lawsuit would it be? Would it be past action, or would it be the city of Banning that pays for the if they sue?
It would be the city of Banning. This lawsuit would go against the city of Banning. Okay. Any other questions on that topic? Okay. Okay, then I'm going to go on to ARE and let you know where it's at now. There's an eviction notice was given to ARE as of July 12th to vacate 60 days from July 12th, or the city will file an unlawful detainer. However, there was no written 90-day notice given to ARE that the contracts were canceled as required by the contract, and as we directed the city manager to do on January 2024. And so this is going to be an ongoing issue, because if it goes to court, they can just claim that we never received the notice and we'll start all over again. So that's a problem. We also no longer have any animal control officers, contrary to what the city manager has been presenting, which I believe is prohibitive. We have to, as a city, take care of our animals. We have to have animal control. We have to have a shelter. Now, I had asked that the city manager put approval to go to the Board of Supervisors to approve a contract with animal control of the county for July 9th, because we take a break till August 27th, and he refused to put it on the agenda. So now we're all in limbo, and we'll come back August 27th, and that process has got to start where we have to approve it, then it has to go to the Board of Supervisors, and they have to come back, and then we have to sign the contract. And then just to let you know that, and if you want these numbers, I'll give them to you, but in figuring out and using Amber's own numbers, to have the city take over this shelter would be over $1 million a year, because of all the costs involved. You have the police department costs, the liability, the trucks, if you take the amount of animals, and with the county, it's from $400,000 to $500,000 a year with one animal control officer, mainly because you're not going to have a lot of the feral cats, and the county is an a la carte, so it just depends on how many animals that you have. And they also offer 24/7 vet care, and they offer services that we could never as a city offer. And I also want to, some good news, Riverside Animal Services flew 60+ dogs to humane societies in Idaho, Utah, and Oregon. This is dated July 26 on Channel 3 News. The flight, there was 3 hoarding cases in 2 weeks in Riverside County. Over 80 dogs were in terrible shape. And so Animal Services of Riverside, they contacted rescues, and there was a flight that the Humane Society of the Desert Foundation, Wings of Rescue, the flight was funded by the Humane Society and one of their volunteers who worked to make it happen quickly. And they had almost 80 dogs that were sent to states that don't have impacted animal shelters, and they have a lot of people who want animals, and so those animals are being taken care of now. They went to Idaho, Utah, some other, Oregon. Yeah, Oregon. And then also something that's very good is the Riverside County supervisors appointed a committee to oversee animal welfare in the county, because it's become a big problem with the amount of dogs and animals. So this is going to be on the committee. It's an ad hoc committee. It'll be Supervisor Manuel Perez, and Supervisor Gutierrez. And they are looking at funding and, all different aspects, but also to coordinate regional centers, something that I had brought up, to take some of the pressure off the ones that are there now. So let cities come together and have regional centers, and the county would be involved with that. And so it's really wonderful that they're addressing this issue and taking it seriously finally. Okay. And then just a heads up on an ENA that is an exclusive negotiating agreement with Investall, a group called Shanghai America. It's at 150 Ramsey. It's across the street from City Hall. This group they're a Chinese company. They had a ENA for a year, then they backed out, and they came back 6 months later. And this was up on the July 9th meeting. And just so you know, the city is offering this property to them for free. The city will pay for the EIR and all required reports, such as development agreement. The developer has proposed to receive financial assistance by way of rebates of the transient occupancy tax and sales tax. And the project that we were presented with back in January of 2023 was very nice. It was retail on the bottom, apartments, condos for sale, very, very nice project. But what we were shown in more detail at the last meeting isn't just condos, it's just apartments and a hotel, no retail, and it literally looks like a prison. It doesn't look anything like what we had seen. And I presented this, it was a consent calendar item, so it wasn't even gonna go in front of the council, so I pulled it. And in expressing problems with this ENA, I was the only one who said anything, and they voted for it 4-1. And I'm like, I don't think we should be giving away the store, and if we are, we better get something that's very nice, that we want, that has good design. So it's right in our middle of our downtown. Okay, and then, there's an election coming up November 5th. There's 4 seats up, District 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there's also election for city clerk and city treasurer. And right now, no one has applied for that. I really encourage you, if you have any interest or ability at all, to go down and make an appointment with the city clerk and get the information. You have till August 9th to apply. You have to get 20 to 30 signatures. There's paperwork to fill out, a fee to pay. But if we don't get a city clerk or a city treasurer, then it will probably become an appointed position. And we do not want that. We want it to keep it elected. So if you're interested, contact me. I'll let you know how to do it. I'll help you with it. Also, just to let you know, I am running for re-election again. And the next meeting, like I said, is August 27th. So if you have any questions. Yeah, thank you.
Sherry, thank you for all your efforts. You've done a great job, especially with the warehouse project. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, Sherry Flynn. Next on the speaker list is Steve Neese, and he is here to tell us about the EPAP Animal Rescue Program in place here at Sun Lakes.
Good afternoon, delegates. Cal asked if our EPAP Animal Rescue Group could address your assembly to let you know what exactly we do. So thank you, Cal, for the invite. I'm Steve Neese. I'm on the steering committee for EPAP Animal Rescue. We only have a few minutes, so pardon me ahead of time as I will speak quickly since we do so many things for Sun Lakers. We're located behind the EPAP building. We have 3 large kennels able to hold many animals. We have our supplies there ready to respond to any emergency. We participate in the EPAP drill every year. We go out into the community during the drill to save your pets. This brings me to let you know our first and most important responsibility. In the event of a disaster within Sun Lakes, the Animal Rescue Group will be called to rescue lost or escaped animals. This rescue also will include when an injured homeowner refuses to go to urgent care or the hospital until their pet is taken care of. We have 2-person teams who go to the home and pick up the pet. The homeowner contacts their zone captain, who calls EPAP, who then contacts us behind the building. Also, if a zone captain sees an escaped animal, they will call headquarters, who will contact us. We take them or other escaped pets to our kennels, where we have 2 people watch over them to make sure they have water and are protected. We keep them until the owner can pick them up. Escaped pets will not be returned to the owners until they have proven that their pet is theirs. Simply put, EPAP protects and rescues people. EPAP Animal Rescue protects and rescues pets. We will not tell you who we think is the most important group. Following are just some of the things our group does or has done in the past. Number 1, solicit donations. We spend thousands of dollars every year helping pets and lost animals in Sun Lakes. We appreciate all donations. 100% of all monies go to help your pets and lost animals. We hold 5 meetings a year to bring in speakers to benefit our homeowners on caring for their pets. We have members who go out in the community trying to help find your pet who might have escaped. We have members who, when a stray dog is found, will pick up the dog, give it protection in our kennels while trying to find the owner. We have members who help foster pets. We try to find homes for owners who may not be able to keep their pets due to moving to a facility that will not take them or who might have died. We have members who keep the kennels clean and sanitized. We take animals who enter Sun Lakes to the vet if it is determined that they are injured. This is one of our biggest use of donations. The last dog we took to the vet was $1,500. So you can see why we need donations. Sandy Burgons writes articles for Lifestyles on how to protect your pet. And we discovered that the fire engines had oxygen masks to save people during their calls, but they had nothing for animals. So we went out and purchased oxygen masks for animals. We bought one for engine number 20, who I call the Sun Lake Special, and one for the Banning fire engine. They were very much appreciative. During the Idlewild fires a few years ago, they set up Banning High School for evacuated homeowners to drop off their pets. We purchased food for their pets so they would be taken care of. We spend time trying to get animals adopted that come into the community or have owners who have to give up their pets. We've purchased 3 scanners at about $1,000 to read chips embedded in animals. We have 2, and we've given one to the guards at the main gate to check animals. This is why it's so important to have your pets chipped. We ask that you please have a colored ID on your pet, also have it chipped as colors come off. Remember, when you move, update your phone number and address with the chip company. There are people in the Pass area who pick up lost dogs and sell them to laboratories. We worked with the Pass board to pass a rule here, which now requires you to have your dog wear any of 3 types of ID. If not, you may be referred to the safety committee. They may call you in for a hearing, and you could be fined $25. Another rule we were able to get passed was that you may not walk or run your pet along a golf cart, automobile, truck, van, or a bicycle. Remember, if you lose your pet or if you see a lost pet in Sun Lakes, you need to call the main gate. They will contact our group to help. They have a list of our members who will go out and help you find your pet or pick up the lost animal and try to find the owner. Could you all please, in your district newsletter, make sure your pet has an outside ID and is chipped as well with your current number and address. Unfortunately, all the animals we rescue are not living here. Many people outside of the community have learned that we help animals, so they dump their animals over the gates. In the past, we've rescued many animals: dogs, baby bobcat kittens, a tortoise, and yes, we actually reunited the tortoise with its owner. And please remember, we've lost many dogs and cats in the last year due to coyotes and bobcats. Don't let your pets out without protection. In a nutshell, we are your Amber Alert for animals. One final comment. Over the years, we've had people say they'd like to join the group but couldn't handle the sadness that sometimes occurs. Let me tell you why it's worth it, because there are more times that it becomes a joy. Some time ago, we received a call from a Sun Laker who needed our help. Her father died, and he owned a beautiful young German Shepherd named Travis. Her brother was going to euthanize the dog and have it cremated and bury it with her father. So we went to work. Within several days, we found someone who was willing to take the dog and give it a good home. So when you leave today, please look at our display board, which is sitting right in the back, and you will see this beautiful young German Shepherd on the picture board in the back named Travis. This is the dog we saved from being needlessly euthanized. Be happy to answer any questions if you have them. None? Thank you very much, Cal.
Thank you, Steve.
Sorry. Donate, you can give Sandy Burgon all donations. We also at the craft fair have a booth set up for donations. That would be very much appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, and moving on, item 4 on the agenda would be next, and that is a committee report from the Rules Committee, and Gail Bilek will take it from here.
Thank you. First, I want to thank the Rules Committee, Patty Lopez, B. Mercado, Marcia Midget, and myself for spending a lot of time working on these. On Monday at the delegate workshop, we will pass out a draft of the rules that we've put together. So if you want a voice, you want input, you want to see what we have so far, please show up on Monday and we'll pass them out there. They won't get out before then, though. Okay, any questions?
Okay, thank you, Gail. And next, from the Affairs Committee, Linda Spalding.
Thank you. I want to thank those who are on the Affairs Committee, and we are looking at Code of Conduct and Ethics. So I'd like to thank Anita Lawrence, Michelle Walter, Mike Volz, and myself. The committee has finished its first draft. It's been reviewed a couple of times, and we, like Gail, will have it available at Monday workshop to be passed out for your comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda, and thank you to all the members who are working on those committees. You've done a considerable amount of work in a very short time. Then moving on, next item on the agenda, number 6 would be a little talk from Eric Wenzel, who is our Food and Beverage Director.
Let me unscrew this. You okay? Everybody hear me okay? Good. Okay. I'll try not to yell on this thing. Okay, so I'm here to read you the monthly specials. And in reference to changes in the kitchen, I'd like to, just before anybody asks any questions, Jason and also Chris Mitchell will be addressing those questions you may have in regards to structure and management on the back end, just first and foremost. Okay, for the month of August 2nd, starting tomorrow, we have flight, basically International Beer Day, so we're going to do a specialty flights. We have a couple of specialty beers from my hometown, Redlands, California, so give it a run. They're actually pretty decent beers. I know a couple of the guys actually brew down there as well. Let's see, August 4th, this Sunday, National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. We're going to have 2 specials, one just a basic chocolate chip cookie, and another one we're developing a specialty dessert featuring a chocolate chip cookie as well. So we'll have those up soon. And we have 2 specials this weekend, of course, a pork tenderloin and a lobster, bear with me, a lobster penne pasta. They should have been dropped on Facebook, I believe, as of yesterday. Did anybody see it?
Yep.
No. Double check the Sun Lakes report. It should be from Hernan. If not, let me know. I'll fix that right away. Okay, for August 15th, National Lemon Meringue Pie Day. We do have that on the menu. It will be on special for a discounted price. August 16th, National Rum Day. We have a couple specials that Angel is working on, and we'll have more updates on that with flyers and a drop on the website via Facebook with Hernan within that coming week. And August 30th, we have the biggest supermoon, blue moon special on Saturday, or Friday and Saturday, August 30th and August 31st. So a special on blue moon beer. All right. Any other question? The last one is a supermoon, blue moon special, beer special on blue moon beer for August 30th and August 31st, Friday and Saturday. It's a Hefeweizen. It's a unfiltered wheat ale.
And these are being publicized out here. Good.
Mike Bowles, District 92. And how are we publicizing this to the populace?
Via Hernan, he does a social media blast.
Right.
With Hernan, through the social media blast, typically. And flyers that we have in the lounge and the magazine as well.
I'm not where you're doing what now?
We do a social media blast. So basically what? How can I describe this? It's a...
You guys, what we'll do, we'll do an email blast that you guys receive. When he's saying social media blast, he means putting it up on Facebook, on social media. We also do it through the Lifestyles magazine. There are little flyers throughout the clubhouse as well as the sandwich. So that's how we're trying to reach everybody. And then, of course, you guys.
Okay, that's why.
Would you guys like me to have these flyers like readily available the month prior and put them out on the restaurant? That way you guys can pick them up. Hard copy would be better.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys. I can do that. All right. Give me to the end of the month and I'll have them running for on the last week of August for September. We'll start then. Cool? All right.
Thanks.
And big questions, ask administration. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Okay, moving on. Item 7, Mr. Ewalls is going to tell us all about exciting and fun things to do.
All right, thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. Just a few things. Got some upcoming events here in recreation. August 2nd, which is tomorrow, we have Randy Riggles here doing a comedy night. I believe we have about 150 tickets sold. We do still have some space left, so if you want a nice evening, $15, check it out. Hit the front desk up, as well as you can buy them tomorrow night as well at the door. So if you haven't got your tickets, make sure you do. Randy Riggles puts on a pretty funny show. August 7th, Evenings on the Veranda. Again, that's the first Wednesday of the month. Renee Rogenaro will be out there again. She'll be doing that through October. So come check that out from 5 to 8 p.m. August 12th, our ice cream socials, second Monday of the month, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Make sure you get there soon so we don't run out of ice cream. I think last time around we went through like almost 15 gallons of ice cream. So get there quick. $3 for 3 scoops. Subject to change on the location. If it's 105 degrees out, I'm not going to do it on the veranda. I'm going to move it to the ballroom or the sandwich. So just kind of keep a lookout for that. If you don't see it on the veranda and you show up, and just head over to the sandwich. That's where we're going to be. There should be a good group of people. We usually average over 100 people each time. So yeah, 2 to 3. Yep. August 31st, Music Under the Stars. It'll be out on the band will be out on the half round. Make sure you guys enjoy up on the veranda. If you're going to bring your own alcohol, make sure you are not on the veranda. You are either on the grassy knoll areas or the driving range. Okay, those are the only areas that are not in our footprint within the main clubhouse. September 7th, Activities Day. If you haven't started getting anything, Linda will be sending out that soon to all the clubs and groups. I know it's a great time for you clubs and groups that are looking for participants to get your names out. We got a lot of new residents that moved into the community, so good place to get out and reach them. If you want to sign up, make sure you stop by the front desk or give Linda a call. September 14th, Comedy Entertainment. We have a comedy night. We'll have 3 comedians here. Again, we're going to limit it to 210 people. Again, like I said, you guys, I don't want your backs to the stage, especially on a comedy night. I prefer you guys facing the stage and have a good evening. Tickets will be $15 per person, and the doors will open at 6 and the show will start at 7 p.m. This information is available on 97, Good Day Sun Lakes, as well as in the Lifestyle magazine and the webpage. Any questions? Awesome.
I've got one.
Dang, Dave. I thought I was going to get away without answering.
No, sorry, Jason. Not the last meeting, the meeting before last, Chris asked for addresses of vacant homes for the yards to be taken care of.
Yes.
I sent him 3.
And have they not been started
and
yet?
Nothing's been started yet. What's the procedure on that? Once they're sent, how long does it take for it to go through?
What normally happens when we're sent that from a resident, any resident, we get it to the board. They have to approve us to either one, kind of just do a one-time cleanup on it, David, or if it is in the situation to where it has been foreclosed upon, then it would be the board that has to decide, all right, go ahead and take it, let's go to the city, let's get the power turned on, let's get the water turned on, and let's start taking care of the property. Because there's an ongoing cost to that, the board would have to approve it, so we'll get it on the agenda. Dave, if you wouldn't mind, send it to me, that way I can make sure it gets on this next agenda
I
for the
will
board.
absolutely do it.
Thank you,
tonight.
sir. Yeah, not a problem. Yes, sir, Mike.
So that goes through you.
Yeah, you can send it to me or Chris. It's just, it's been crazy the past couple months. So Chris Mitchell, or myself. Send us one of us. We'll just get it on the. And if you want to do the trifecta, include Tammy on it too, so none of us miss it. So it'll get on the agenda, and then the board just approves it or denies it, and we move from there.
There you go.
Yeah, I have to say the both options, but yes, you guys do always approve them to take care of the community.
Yeah, that's a really popular thing. I have everybody in my district asking me about that, and they're seeing the results too.
Yeah, and David, I will say, that's why send me the address to double check, because I know there was 9 properties that we went to the city with, and because those properties, the power and utilities have been turned off for more than 6 months, the city is scheduling to have their people come out, like the inspectors from the different departments, to check to make sure everything's good before they turn it back on. So that's being a process as well, because we're waiting on them. Now we're back on the city's timeline of scheduling their inspectors. So that's where we currently are at right now. So it could very well be one of those 3 could be in there. It's just we're waiting for the city to get their inspectors out so we can get the utilities turned on to start taking care of it.
Like, one other thing, do we have a list so I don't double up? I've got 3 in my district I know of.
I don't have a list on me right now, Mike. We do at the office. I mean, we do have which properties we have, but yeah, just let me know and I can see if they're on there. Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, we'll move on then to item number 8. This is Candace Jenkins, the Executive Director for the EPAP organization, and words from her.
Good afternoon, delegates, FSR, and fellow residents. This year, our annual drill will be doing shelter in place. Recently, we have had 2 instances where a person being pursued by the police came into the Sun Lakes. Our drill will be an active shooter scenario. If you or your residents do not know what to do in this kind of a situation, please plan on attending one of our training sessions. The schedule for August is Friday, August 16th from 10 a.m. to 12 noon in the ballroom lobby. Friday, August 23rd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the North Clubhouse, and Friday, August 30th from 10 a.m. to 12 noon in the ballroom lobby side. We will post our September training schedules on Sun Lake's EPAP Facebook when we have them ready. If you cannot attend any of the training sessions, there are instructions in the EPAP manual, page 17 and 18. On August 26th, Mario from Simpler Life will be in the Sandwich at 9:30 in the morning. He will bring water purification information and other items that may be needed for a survival kit. Any questions? Pardon me?
When is drill?
The drill will be an active shooter. So, it's October 17th at 10:17 in the morning.
October 17th.
At 10:17 in the morning. Yes, Anita?
Could you go over those dates and times and locations one more time, please?
Yes. August 16th, 10 to noon in the ballroom lobby.
What is the ball?
That half of the ballroom.
Main club.
Yeah, that, if they pull the partitions, it's that half. August 23rd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the North Clubhouse. August 30th from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and that will also be in the ballroom lobby side. And then August 26th, Mario from Simpler Life will be in the Sand Wedge at 9:30, and we'll probably be there until about 11:30. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Candace. Next, we move to item number 9 on the agenda, and we will hear from the Board of Directors.
Thank you. State Senate Bill 1524 was recently passed and will now allow gratuities to be added back onto the restaurant bills. The board approved 18% gratuity to be added effective today, August 1st. As mentioned earlier, on August 27th, the Banning City Council will be voting on a resolution to deny the Banning Point Warehouse project. The current indication is 3 of the City Council members support the denial. We will hopefully find out the official results on the 27th. The indoor pool at the South Clubhouse will reopen on August 6th. The pool and the pool decking, tile, and spa have all been redone and look great. A recent survey from one of our golf clubs entitled Master Board Survey is not a survey from the Master Board. The board has requested ideas for enhancing revenue and cutting costs. The request was sent out to committee chairs and district delegates. Apparently this was misinterpreted and resulted in a club survey, but it was not a Master Board survey. The lounge expansion is going well. Anticipated completion date is early October, and we are within budget. We are currently in negotiations with Spectrum regarding the renewal of our contract, and we will update you as to the progress of our negotiations. Brian Garlington, our director of golf, is leaving to be general manager at Woodhaven Country Club. We want to thank him for his service and leadership at Sun Lakes, and we are currently recruiting and interviewing for his replacement. I believe they're having a little going away for him tomorrow, 2 o'clock, at the Sandwich Bar and Grill. Anyone interested? The board approved the district delegates' request to pay for an August social get-together and for name badges for the delegates. A recent complaint from a member of our HOA indicated we should not permit outside use of our facilities. That request has been sent to our legal counsel for review and opinion. According to our attorney, Pete Rakups, quote, based upon the governing documents and practices at Sun Lakes Country Club, I conclude that the board has the authority to permit outside events and usage of its facilities. It is industry practice for all HOAs that renting or leasing of their facilities is permitted. According to a summary of 501c7 from IRS, a social club may receive up to, and we're defined as a social club, up to 35% of its gross receipts from non-member sources. Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, I've got a question. Dave Miller, District 5. You had mentioned, Bob, about homes that Sun Lakes owns, about looking to rent some out.
Yes.
Why don't we just sell them? I've got one on Plainfield that it's been vacant for years. I mean, 8, 9 years. I think we've owned it for 3 years.
Yeah.
Why isn't it just sold?
We're not in a first position. HUD is first. We're in a second position. So we have the authority to rent it, and to maintain it, and to make our properties look presentable here in our community, but we don't have the authority to sell it.
But
any other questions?
National title.
The waterfalls at Gate 1 are just so beautiful and make an entrance into our community and look so welcoming. I wonder, is there enough money in the repair and replacement yet to take care of the waterfalls at Gate 2?
Good question. We are looking into that, and we meaning the board, highly recommend that. So it will be pursued. Thank you.
Anything else from the board?
Yes.
Yeah. Could the board and/or administration give us an update or discuss the rental issue? I believe in past years we've talked about having a limit to the number of homes that could be rented. Could you update us on that and where we are?
Yeah.
Yeah. When California decided to change some laws to combat the housing crisis, they changed a lot in regards to that. One, we cannot cap. We cannot put a cap on this community of rentals. The only thing where a cap would come into play would be with the condos. And if you get up into that 25, 30 percentile, you have a risk of not being FHA certified. That would be the biggest risk at this point in time for having a lot of rentals. I will tell you, in Sun Lakes as a whole, we are between 10 and 12% rental in Sun Lakes. If you took just the condos, we're pushing up to between 15 to 20% in the condo associations. But again, Sun Lakes as a whole is right between 10 and 12%. The years back, this assembly actually looked at putting, Linda, I think you were part of that. And that's what, at that point in time, we could do that. At that point in time, we could cap. It was not approved, but a couple years later, the laws changed. So even if you did approve it at that point in time, we would have had to go back and open it back up. So that changed when the ruling on, as you all remember, we used to have the long-term rental lease of a year. You had to have a year. And California came in and said, nope, you can't go any longer than 30 days. It was the same bill that changed that as well. Sorry, Gene, that's kind of where we're at. Amen.
Jason, when you look at the new residence sheets that we get every month, that percentage looks like it's much bigger than 10%.
You may think that, but again, when we look at the whole, we have we're right about 320 rentals in Sun Lakes. So that's right about 10%. Yeah. So that's where we're at. It may look like you're getting them all the time, but you got to figure there's also the homeowners that kick a tenant out and bring in another tenant. You know, they're not all on year leases anymore. So you may have one in a year that's only here for a few months, and then and that's something we've noticed in admin as well. A lot more load on registration because there is a lot more short term. There's a lot more people that are only here for 3 months to check it out and then they leave. So that's kind of what's been going on as well. Yes, Linda.
So when Michelle gives her statistics, they are purchase, not renters.
That is correct.
However, I have had the philosophy that we treat all residents equal.
That's correct.
Okay, so we kind of take that into consideration.
Well, equal in the sense that a renter or a tenant has the same rights as an owner with the exception of voting.
Exactly.
And also house account. Now, you know, the renter has to get the approval of the homeowner to get the house count, where a homeowner can just say, I want a house count. That's a little bit different too. But
and my residents, for some reason, somehow they learn, well, they're just a resident because I don't divulge the information that I get from administration. But they say they're just a renter, but I say, no, they're a resident.
Right.
It doesn't really matter. So.
Yep. You are all considered residents, no matter whether you're an owner or a renter. If you live here, if you reside in Sun Lakes, whether you're a renter or an owner, you are a resident. You are a member only if you are an owner. Okay, so members are only owners. Residents are everybody that lives in here. And now that's where the different classes come in. As a member, you have a little more rights than what a resident comes when it comes to voting. You can vote, they can't. Any other questions? Yes, please.
Jason, correct me if I'm wrong or explain it a little bit. I understand the capping for the rentals, and because of the ADU was a huge concern, but we are preventing those here because of is it the architectural guidelines or our guidelines?
Right,
So we would not allow those.
Well, we can't not allow.
But you have to follow.
There's pretty strict guidelines that you have to follow in order to have it. And actually, those strict guidelines come more from the city than they do us. All we can do is just architectural, like it's just got to fall within. So it's got to be conducive, it's got to look like the house. That's what we can control. And we can only control that to a certain extent. So if you say, I don't like that, but it's going to cost you $20,000 to change it, I cannot do that to you. It has to be within a reasonable amount. But now the city has very strict rules, and that's where it usually gets stopped.
Ann Hofer, District 12. I'm going to change the topic for a minute. Where are we standing with the age verification?
I'm actually going to be part of my update when we get there.
Oh, sorry.
Remember, this is still board updates that I'm answering everything for, so I feel weird.
Jim Nickel, District 3. I have a question for Bob. Bob, last meeting, I brought up the security issue of the second patrol person, and we had that patrol person over at the RV lot. Is that still in place at this time?
Yes, it is.
All right. And I'm still requesting that perhaps that person can be moved into our general community to take care of the north side, south side RV lot during the wee hours of the morning. So that's still in place as far as I'm concerned. I thank you for taking under consideration.
Yes, that'll be under consideration for the annual budget. He's going to remain there until we have all the cameras and everything in place for the protection of the owners of the RVs.
And now face it, the immediate report without my help.
Cal, you want me to move? Okay.
Go for it.
All right, just a couple updates, you guys, more project updates. I know Bob and Board have already updated you on the pool, but I just want to let you know at the North Clubhouse, the library, that one single restroom there, as well as the, not the multi-purpose room, but maybe the card room that's in between the library and the multi-purpose room, as well as the pro shop. All flooring got redone in there. Got some new painting, and the counter, that old counter that was at the pro shop, the desk there, has been redone as well. So that is getting a final top on it within the next week or so, and that'll be completed. Here at the main clubhouse, out at the pool, the barbecue island out there has been redone. We have new barbecues. The old barbecues were about 15 years old, and we could no longer get parts for them. So it's time to change them. And so brand new barbecues, and actually the countertop is going on tomorrow. So next week it should be good to go with a nice new barbecue island out there for you guys to use.
Great.
Billiards room, got the tables leveled and bridge holders put in there, so that should make you guys good at that, Tom? All right. RV lot cameras, like Bob was talking. Yesterday, the motion lights that are on there's 3 poles that are on the east wall of the RV lot. They had motion lights out once before that shined out along the wall there. They were no longer working, so those have been replaced as of yesterday. Also, the cameras. They were actually supposed to be out here today. I guess they had some technicians call in sick, and they couldn't have enough to come out here. That's unfortunately the way it goes sometimes. But they will be scheduling to come out here within the next week to install the cameras on the east wall there. So those cameras that will feed to Gate 1 and at the call center there will be installed within a week or so. So that'll make, I hope, all you RVers happy that at least we'll have active cameras over there now. So with that, like Bob said, once that RV cameras are in place over there, then we will be able to stop having to pay for a guard to sit there all night long. And again, to your point, Jim, that's when the board will be looking at it in the budget and working on it for, yeah. Other than that, let's see here. Road work. So the consultant will be out this next week to come out and look at the road work in Sun Lakes to see what is being done on the plan this year, as well as any ones that may not be on the plan, but definitely need some TLC. Looks to be all of the upcoming projects. With the age verification. So last month, I think we were right about 70%. This month, we are just over 73%. So with that, you guys, I was talking to Tammy, and I don't remember any time recently that at this point is beginning of August where we are at 73%. So we are doing pretty darn good. I expect to have that 80% within the next 2 months. Chelsea in the office has been doing an amazing job. She's actually calling every resident that hasn't turned in a form. So instead of you guys going door to door, She's taking care of that and calling. She's actually starting to call District 16 tomorrow. So she's working her way through and doing an amazing job. So we're almost there. 7 more percent, we got it. Okay, so like Eric said earlier with food and beverage, you guys, we did receive a resignation from Chef Chris on Monday evening. So with that, Chef Chris is no longer here. Our Tiana, her last day was last Friday. I know that the big concern is what I've been getting emails about is, well, I have a banquet coming up, who do I talk to? Right now, that's going to be Letty and Eric are taking care of that. So they are stepping in. Make sure you reach out to them if you have a banquet or an event coming up. It was unexpected, I guess. Just kind of got the news, but you know what? It was his voluntary resignation. He's moving on to other things. Good for him, but we will move forward. You guys, we've been here before, and we will move forward from it, okay? So again, if there's any specific questions, let me know. Again, as you guys are well aware, employment is a very sticky situation, and you guys as not the employers, really it's hard for me to say what I can say. I really have to keep that separate. So I will give you as much information as I can, but like again, you guys do know it was not us that said get out, it was voluntary. So just so you guys know that. That's all I can really much say.
That's all right.
Yes, yes.
Good. Jim?
Thank you, Jason. Jim Nickel, District 3. In my district, I have 18 parking spaces that are atrocious, and I think we've spoken.
They're on the
months
list,
ago.
Jim.
Pardon?
They're on the list.
I'm on the list?
They're on the list,
Yeah, there's
yes.
74 spaces, and you know,
Correct.
so you understand.
All 3 sub-associations, the parking areas will be taken care of.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What time frame, please?
What time frame? This year. It's going to be done with the road work this year. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a question.
Jason, are we still looking at Wi-Fi for the RV lot so some of us couldn't put
thank you,
in-
Linda. Actually, Hernan came to tell me earlier before we started here, he's working with Spectrum. They're going to do a site survey to see what they can get out there. So if they are able to get something out there, that's great, because then I can get Wi-Fi out to that whole parking lot, which will allow you as homeowners to take things in your hands too. It'll allow you, if you want like a wireless Ring device or something like that, a little camera on your unit, it would allow you to do that and log into the Wi-Fi there. So.
I'm back. Question about the at the stop signs.
Yes.
The marking on the concrete.
On the asphalt?
Yeah, okay. Asphalt.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's pretty light.
Right.
And even the striping going down the center of Country Club towards Glen Eagles is very light.
Okay.
So is there any possibility of having that redone? Number
Yes.
one.
So we'll bring that. We'll get something to get a bid on that. I know you guys with that. It's just paint. It's not thermoplasty that you have out like on the freeway or anything like that. The paint here wears very quick. We got a lot of traffic that comes through here, and so they wear really quickly. But yeah, we will work on that.
There is a special paint that is reflective for the evening, so I wondered if that had been thought of, because I know this is not reflective.
We've talked about it in the past. There is quite a potential larger cost for it, but we can definitely bring it to the board and see again and how they feel on it.
I mean, it would help at night,
levels.
with the walking
Completely agree with you, 100%.
And also at the north side, as you are coming off of Brooklawn, and you come to the stop sign where the gate is, people are not stopping there. Northwood. Yeah. People are not stopping there to make that turn. And
You're talking about as they're coming around. Okay, gotcha.
Right. I know it's not my district, but I visit there every single night. And the line on the streets right there, and it's been brought up several times,
Very light.
needs a good dose of paint.
Sounds good. I'll talk to Mark about it. See if we can get some bids on that.
Thanks.
So yeah, there we go. So it's all included in the process that the consultant will take care of. And then like that, what happens there, the consultant will put everything together in RFP. He will send it out. The board will get the bids back. There will be closed bids, and then the board will open them and go from there.
Mike, District 22. So my district runs up Birdie, but we have one cul-de-sac to the left of Birdie. It's the only cul-de-sac in our group on the left side of Birdie. The 3 owners and the other one's vacant, has never been repaved. And if you looked at the patching that's done in there, it's atrocious. So I don't know what our scheduling is. I told those owners I'd get back to them if I could find out. I have no.
Yeah,
I
Mike,
don't
let
know
him, let him know that the roadway consultant will be here on the 13th, and we'll be going. And what he does is when he drives all 26 miles and looks and makes notes of what streets need to and should be repaired and to what degree.
Okay, so how do I get on that list?
Well, let your residents know there that the consultant will be driving around through the community on the week of the 13th, and will submit their review to the board and put it in the RFP. That's what it really is. We'll mention to him and say, can you look at the street? But really, he will drive around all 26 miles and say, you know what, that looks pretty bad. It should be put on the list for this year.
Okay, I don't know how to contact them or anything, but
well, you wouldn't. You
okay.
Let us know. That's what I said. Mark's sitting right there, and that's pretty much what's going to happen. He'll go around.
Yeah, I thought Mark was the one to contact. I didn't know.
Yeah, no, that's correct.
Okay.
You're contacting Mark, but Mark's sitting right there, so he hears you.
Very good. Okay. Thank you.
No problem, Mike. I think it is.
Mark.
Stay cul-de-sac of the Sleepy House.
It's on the left side going up.
On the brick. Well, we'll take care. There's only 4. And one that can't. Then you take care of the lawn extension.
Please use a mic. Please use a mic.
While we're talking about parking and painting, what can we do about the parking spots in front of the pool entrance, the main pool? Can you eliminate maybe one parking space to give the carts a better in and out? They're very tight. My cart will very.
You're talking about the cart stalls right in front of the
yes. Can you eliminate one and make them wider? And can we not have the maintenance people park their vehicles there?
I will. The maintenance vehicles should only be parked there while they're unloading or loading to that end of the clubhouse. I will make sure that if it's not being used to that extent, that they park over here where they have traditionally parked. Or sorry, wrong, over here.
Thank you.
Hi, Carly, District 14. I just have a question. On Mission Hills and the corner of Woodlands Drive, we have an overabundance of bushes and greenery into the street. And my residents told me that they come up and they've complained to administration, but I don't know where it's going.
Carly, is it a common area or is it a homeowner?
It's a homeowner.
Okay.
So I understand that part of it, if it's on the street, is our responsibility, and if it's before that, it's hers. Correct?
So you said Mission Hills and
Woodlands Drive. And it's hard to, when you're coming down Woodlands Drive, you're trying to turn right, you can't see because of all the...
I'll get somebody out there to take a look at it, get some pictures and notice out.
Okay, thank you so much.
Jason. I also have that problem on Warwick Hills and Country Club, across the street from where I live, very blind corner. And the new resident that moved in has an RV and occasionally is in and out. People are cutting the corner off. One of these days, somebody's going to get hurt on that corner.
And is it vehicle blocking or is it plant growth?
No, it's plant growth.
Okay.
Plant growth.
Perfect.
And then these crepe myrtles that are in full bloom right now, I put a request in, or I can actually sent a letter in to ask for mine to be trimmed. They're now encroaching to my roof and also my arbor in between the house and my backyard.
Okay, we'll definitely look at it. I'll take a look at that note.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, if there's nothing else, we'll move on. Now it's time for announcements from the district delegates, and we're going to start with Charlie Linden over there in District 23.
Oh, well, thank you. Not a lot going on in the district now. We did celebrate the 4th. We do have a recycling crew that generated $275 that we gave to the Pass Action Group. And we are continuing to do good things in our district. Thank you.
Mike Bowles, District 22. We have our big our auction coming up for the Christmas gifts for the people. It's on the 17th, I believe. And that's our big effort of the year for charity for the Christmas party. So we're looking forward to that, and it's always a lot of fun. Thank you.
Hi, Marcia Midget, District 19. Getting together with the social committee in the next couple of weeks to see what's going on for the rest of the year. So stay tuned. Thank you.
Anita Lawrence, District 18. Meeting with social committee tomorrow to plan our next social event along with District 12 and 8. It will be in October. And since the last delegate assembly, I met with my zone captains and tasked them with updating resident information in light of the fact that we've had 3 power outages in the last 3 months, and 2 of them were for extended periods of time. We're also identifying those residents in District 18 who may need assistance with getting to electrical power. So I want to thank my zone captains. They're just doing an outstanding job.
Cal, can I make a comment just on that?
Yes.
Because something that I've, with this, and Nita, thank you for bringing up power outages. I've gotten a few calls and emails about what do we do? What do I tell a resident that, or, is there anything that Securitas can do for a resident that with the power out cannot get into the garage, which cannot get into their home? Unfortunately, guys, there's nothing the association can do. My suggestion, and it may sound rude, but my suggestion is contact your locksmith. Unfortunately, Sun Lakes is not it's not the lakes, you guys. It's not assisted living. It is a single-family active adult community. Things like that, you as homeowners or residents are expected to kind of handle yourself. But please call me and ask me, or call any of the staff and ask me. Hopefully they'll tell you what you can and can't do. The Lifestyles is a great resource for things like that. Look in the Lifestyles. There's a lot of vendors in there, and you know how Courtney is with her vendors. If they screw around one too many times here, they're out. So that's a good place to look. But sorry, I just wanted to bring that up because I got a few phone calls this past power outage for that.
You good? Greg Voico, District 16. Last Sunday, we had our Silly Senior 2024 Paris Olympic Summer Party. It went off great. We had almost 60 RSVPs. Folks responded very positively to the low-intensity games, brought out everyone's competitive spirit. The dinner served was well received, not the usual catered meal, but prepared by social committee members. One really good decision that we made is that we did the sock sorting contest before the champagne toast. Everyone helped to make this a success. We had zone captains pass out flyers, and I also distributed flyers to the rest of you via email. We had a couple of people from outside our district, so thank you to those of you that did that. One woman came in with a newsletter to show me how she found out about it. The congratulations really go to Debbie Pritchett Caputo and her social committee. They came up with a great theme, and they did a great job carrying out. Very successful event. Changing gears, 2 months ago, we talked about the business of 90-day cycle with regards to distressed homes. And after that meeting, as directed, I sent an email with the addresses and photographs to Jason and Chris. Chris responded promptly. About 2.5 weeks later, I encountered Chris and Mark Schleiden. Thank you very much, Mark, surveying the homes in the north side. And shortly thereafter, I noticed a couple of them had been cleaned up, and the complaint calls have stopped. So thank you to the board for approving their work, and thank you to Mark and Chris and everybody else involved. Turnaround was about 35 days, which is lightning fast.
If I may interject, I would like to thank Greg for the efforts of putting this on. I know it takes a lot to coordinate these type of things. I've heard nothing but very, very positive comments from members of our community. So thank you.
Are you talking about the distressed homes, or are you talking about the party?
No, I'm talking about what you did on Sunday, the Olympic.
You know what? In a competitive spirit, I think we're the social committee to beat.
Good. I'll take care of it.
B. Mercado, District 15. We are planning a district event coming in September or October, depending upon availability of a place. And we will be giving you more information as we come up with it. Thank you.
Hi, Carly Beeks, District 14. First of all, I wanted to make a comment regarding when we had our outages. In my neighborhood, all the people we got out in the street to check on everybody to make sure everybody was really doing fine, because some people could not open their garage to get out. So my husband went around and went inside and helped open up their garage and told them to keep it open just in case. We didn't know how long the electricity was going to be out. And then in October, we're going to have an Oktoberfest party, and we'll be the social committee to eat.
Jeannie Vaughn, District 13. Excuse me. I had a question from one of my residents about, we were talking at a recent meeting about the budget that we go over at the delegate meeting. Is that going to be in September or October, or where if they can't go to the other meetings, they could come to the delegate meeting and listen to what the presentation is going to be?
Jeannie, looking at the schedule and everything, it looks like the delegates will probably get a presentation from Chris at the October delegates meeting regarding the budget.
Okay. And we had our event canceled because of the work at the North Clubhouse or South Clubhouse party in August, or July. So we're going to reschedule it for September. So I hope our date will be secure. The bathrooms will be working, and we can have a picnic palooza in September. So
Not a problem. That South Clubhouse is, after this pool redone, with the exception of the restrooms, will be a brand new facility. Everything has been touched there within the last couple of years.
okay, we're looking forward to having our party. Thank you.
Ann Hofer, District 12. I would like to remind my residents that fill the pantry again for the City of Banning Senior Center. And I have it in the newsletter and we'll be passing it out. But please read it, and it's really important. It'll go on from the 1st to the 20th. So I thank you.
Touching you.
Thank you, Linda Spalding, District 17. I just want to mention and thank the Master Board for approving the District Delegate Assembly mixer. It will be held on August 15th. I thought it was going to be on the 8th, but we had a lot of conflict with the restaurant, so we're moving it to August 15th. The lobby bar will be open. The event will be from 4 to 6. We'll have appetizers, cookies, and brownies, and door prizes, and we'll also be having a 50-50 because we're trying to figure out how to build some kind of a treasury for the delegate assembly, so we'll be working on that. And then I want to announce a new event. District 17 in October, so watch your calendar. We'll be having a night glow ball pitch and putt. I'm so excited. It'll be a lot of fun. We can only take 72 players, and we will be playing 16 holes, which is very, very exciting. So mark your calendar. Cal is excited about it because I know he wanted to do something for his district with the glow ball. So October 27th, whatever that Sunday is, the last Sunday, the 27th in October. Thank you. More to come.
Hello, Cal Martin, District 21. We're sponsoring another cornhole tournament. It will be held right here in the ballroom on August 10th. Starts at noon, goes to 5. There's a couple different brackets. The men in mixed pairs would play in one bracket, and then we have a separate bracket for women if everything works out the way we hope it will. If you'd like to participate in that, there is a flyer. There should be a flyer out in the lobby. And you can also go or send me an email. You can probably find my email because it's listed on the delegate site. That's it from District 21. I will mention to the delegates that one of the things that Linda failed to mention about the mixer coming up is we would really very much appreciate somebody who might have skill with piano joining us that evening when in the moment we're not drawing much help with our current resources. So anybody here, anybody out there in TV land that might want to come contribute your musical ability that night, it would be greatly appreciated. And thank you very much.
Now, what's the first again?
The cornhole tournament is the 10th of August.
Jess Ocampo, District 6. It hasn't been quiet in our district lately. I believe it's due to failure to communicate. And everyone is invited to attend Lakeside 2's meeting next month. You'll enjoy it.
Patty Lopez, District 11. I have no comment. So I told Patty before the meeting I wouldn't have any comment, but I do as we go along. I'm just inundated, and I know Linda has mentioned this before, and she's asked me now. We are inundated with dates to write down. My agenda is full. Can we somehow, like for EPAP and for the animals and for, if you're going to present something, give us a piece of paper so we don't have, we're constantly, I have a great communication system with my district with email blasts of our own. I can send out, and I do. So also the tables here is an example. These board you need to watch here. The tables are really tatty.
Right, and
they
I
need
have
to
them,
be replaced.
and they will actually be here within 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
I had an issue, you guys. I ordered them. They sent them here. They said
You're taking up my time.
I'm sorry, Gina. I was just explaining to you about them, but tables are on their way, you guys.
Garage doors. I bought one about 2 years ago. It has a battery backup. So in case, if you're going to buy a new garage door, it's not that much more expensive, so you can get out. It's slower, but it works. We had ice cream social in July. I forgot the date, but it's passed. It was not well attended. It was hot. It was at our pool, and the ice cream melted too fast. August 5th, we're having a nacho party. You can come join that for a $5 donation, and we do have beer of some kind. I forgot what it is, but come in to our pool and join us. So I'm done. I know I exceeded, but it was important. Thank you, Dave.
Linda Vieira, District 9. We had a wonderful event at the end of June that was very well attended. We had a lot of new residents there. It was wonderful. We donated food to the senior center in July. We collected quite a bit from our residents, and we really, really appreciated it. I'm working with our social committee on a party in October, so watch out.
I forgot something.
Oh, she forgot.
And the carts are terrible. I endorse what Charlie said, and maintenance uses those often.
The parking places.
Well, you know.
Gail Billig, District 7. We just finished having a meet and greet at the North Clubhouse where over 50 people participated. It was really hot, so we used the indoor library area to do cornhole and a little golf activity, and it worked out real well because we were indoors the whole time. We had some raffles and had a really great time. Celebrated International Ice Cream Day, had cake and ice cream for birthdays that were there, and we just barbecued hot dogs and had chips and potato salad and whatnot, but it was a lot of fun. We're still doing our lunches every month for our residents. We've picked up more people attending, and they're enjoying that one. We had And I want to thank all of those during the power outage for the phone calls and the support from each other. I know that Tim and Fran got out for us and checked with residents. We were out on the street talking with people and helping with garage doors as well. So all of that went on. And we're looking at doing in late September, early October, block party as our next event.
Dave Miller, District 5. This month we've got, along with District 2, we've got a bingo pizza party going on at South Clubhouse, which is always fun. And that's about it. Thank you.
Dolores Doherty, District 4. I did have something else that I wanted to mention, but after talking to one of the other delegates, I'm going to hold off on that. But I do want to mention that we had our spaghetti dinner along with District 11 in the North Clubhouse last month, and we all had a good time. We have, instead of a sip and paint party, we are having a mixed media party at the end of August. Alcohol will be involved. It will be in the August Clubhouse, and more details will follow in my newsletter with the attached flyer. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Jim Nickel, District 3. I just wanted to go on with Anita about the blackout we had. I'm EPAP, and I'm also the MRT. I immediately got my phone, my radios, and I was in complete contact with EPAP, and their training was excellent. I grabbed my outfit. I have red lights from my golf cart, and I patrolled. And there was a lady fell, and her daughter couldn't get in the house. I went in through the window. I was administering to her, and in 2 minutes, the paramedics came. So I think if the EPAP coordinators would get out there, as soon as that happens, grab your radio. I released my garage door to get my golf cart out, and so it worked out really, really well. And if we all coordinate, and the radio communications were outstanding. They kept me up to date when the power, how long it would be off. And I let my residents, as they come out, to let them know. So it was a great experience. Then the other issue, my social committee got together, and we're having a Italian dinner on the September 14th in the South Clubhouse. I just let my residents know it'll be out in a newsletter on Monday. I have a drop box at my front door. Drop off your money with your application. We use our recycling to subsidize the meals. So since I have totally very elderly people in my district, we really have to do that. Some are struggling. So it works out very well for us. Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
District 1, Barbara Elness. We too are having the Banning Senior Center food drive for the month of August, and it has been mentioned in my last newsletter, but I'm also going to be sending out a flyer. I also wanted to recommend a battery backup for your garage door opener, because that is a lifesaver when you can't get in or out of your garage. Thanks.
Okay, and that takes us to item 12 on the agenda. Is there any old business that someone would like to bring forward? If there is not, is there any new business that someone would like to present? If there is not, we'll move to item, I like it. Yeah. Move to 14.
Hey, that's good. Hey, my name is this. Patrick Little.
Don't know. Okay, we're done. Would anybody like to move to adjourn? Sorry, member comments. I'm sorry. We're all laughing because my agenda's all messed up.
I was looking at number 8. Anyway, Michelle Walter, I just wanted to make a comment about security here. I was at the pool for the first time in a long time yesterday, and I can't tell you how many people came up to me and said they had a problem with this, they had a problem with this. And I said, did you call security? And they said, no. I said, You know, if I wasn't at the pool, who would you have talked to? I get emails from people that want me to do things for them. Okay, I am one person. I am community awareness. I'm marketing, but I am not Securitas. I am not banning PD. Please inform your residents. If there is an issue at the pool, call Securitas. If there is an issue in your yard, call banning PD. If there's an issue with your neighbor, find out from Jason or what you need to do with that. But if you come to me, I'm just going to refer you to somebody else. I cannot make things happen for you, believe it or not. I try, but I can't. So I'm telling you, please, if there's an issue, call Securitas, call banning PD, or call message to management, or make a message to management. Thank you.
Hi, Lee Stone, Rio Bravo. I just got a message from a neighbor, and I thought this would be a good place to bring it up and ask. There was an email that came out earlier about opting out of emails that came from communications@mc.fsresidential.com, and they were asking if it was legit.
Come on.
Okay, I'll forward it to you. So just let your residents know that if they get something like this, it's good to ask, okay? Because it's actually something that you click in and it says opt out, and you'll be entered for a gift card. Yep, and it says it's coming from Sun Lakes Country Club. I got it as well. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's correct.
There were just a couple things I didn't get to tell you, and I'd like to let you know now. As far as the electrical outage, every time we have one, I contact the city manager and I contact the utility department. This last one, I was told, was due to vandalism. They usually tell me a time frame, and I put that on Facebook and post it so everyone will know what's going on. Also, I wanted to let you know that the CFD that was that basically Sun Lakes paid for the overpass for the railroad, there is a leftover of about $36,000, and I've been trying to work with the city to get that refunded back to us. It has to be used for something within Sun Lakes that's public, so it would be something along Sun Lakes Boulevard, Highland Springs Boulevard. My suggestion, you were talking about the fountains. I've asked them to look into using that money to turn on the repair and fix the fountains on the north side. Also, the lighting down Sun Lakes Boulevard, those black boxes, I would like to see those replaced. They go out all the time, and they're very old. They were put in by the developer. The city does put those lights in there, and I did get those lit after, I think, 6 years where they were not working. So I just wanted to let you know that. And then also, I just want to be sure that as far as this recusal for banning point, it's very, very important. I want to really emphasize this as far as there's absolutely no legal basis for me to recuse myself. And I want to give an example. There was I've been asked to recuse myself the day after I was put into office by the city. I was never asked to recuse myself by the developer, only by the city before the meeting on July 9th. But there is a case that there were two people who also represented like a past action group. They were volunteers. They went to planning commission meetings. They spoke vehemently against a project just down the San Diego area. They then ran for city council, both. They got on city council, the project came to them, and they voted no on it. The developer went to court, took the city to court, and they went up through a series, and they were turned down every time, saying it was not a conflict of interest. It finally went to the California Supreme Court, and they said not only does someone running or someone who is a private citizen, or if you're running for as a candidate, has a right to say where they stand on an issue that affects their constituents, they have a duty to say where they stand on it. And so that developer lost, and that's the same exact situation here. I also have a advice letter from the FPPC that I have no financial interest in the project at all. And I just want people to know that. Don't worry about that. If it were to go to court, it's going to get thrown out. It's just a matter of what the city will do. with that lawsuit. So I wanted to let you know that. And also, I've in this letter, it says that I lined up votes with other council members. No. It also says that I was given talking points by Pass Action Group. No. And then they said post hearing, I had put Facebook just a general description of what happened, and at the bottom I had put this is a step in the right direction. So they say that's my bias, but we had already denied the project. But just saying it's a step in the right direction, obviously I voted to deny it, as did 2 other council members. So along with Happy, anything you say post seems to be fair game to me. So they are using the video from the Pass Action Group meeting on July 3rd. I guess it's on YouTube. And they also state that I directed people to be against the project there and how to do it and what to say, which is not what happened. I told people how they could send in their comments, where they could send them in, what the email was, what the time frame was, and I never once said I was for or against the project or even talked about the project. As a council member, I was obligated to tell people how to give their letters in, and that it would not be counted if they don't send letters in, because it's not verbatim minutes anymore. And so all the things that, there's 15 pages of accusations, and they don't hold water. So I just want everyone to be, to not really worry about it, except, again, if Happy recuses, then it will be denied. But conversely, if Happy recuses, he can't be on anything about Banning Point from then on, and it also would not get approved, assuming the votes are the same, let's say. So it goes both ways. It goes both ways if someone recuses themselves. But I just wanted to explain that and let people know that even though they filed that, they're like throwing everything at the wall to see what will stick. Fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry.
That's
Any other member comments?
No, but it's me again.
Hi, Gene.
I have 2 PSs on Michelle. Securitas are extremely responsive. Don't forget to call them. They're non-combative. They're great. The second thing, I think I need the board or administration to confirm or deny. If I remember correctly, reading the rules and regulations years ago, they do not get involved in neighbor-to-neighbor disputes. So if it is a neighbor-to-neighbor, you cut my grass or whatever, or your music, whatever, it's beyond you need to call the police. So Jason, Bob, help me out.
That's correct. Yes. For the most part, yes, that is correct. If it is something like that, there is an option that the association can do. I will tell you 9 out of 10 times it doesn't lead to a resolution because those 2 homeowners can't sit in the same room together anyways. But the option is an IDR. And so if we do have that, there is 2 complaints, and it's not breaking an association rule. If it's a neighbor-to-neighbor dispute, what I have done is I have asked both of those parties, I would like to sit down in a room with you guys and discuss this. Is that an option? Like I said, 9 out of 10 times it's no, I can't be in a room with that person. Dispute resolution. Yeah. So in that point there, if they can't sit down and talk about it like 2 adults, then yes, the police is the only option to go. But we do try to settle some without getting that far, but not always.
Thank you.
Cal, I have just one more thing I'd like to say.
Go ahead.
I'd like to thank Michelle for the wonderful welcome home that you put on. It was fabulous. The meal was good. I think everybody should just kind of give her a space. Yeah. I know it takes a lot to do it, and we appreciate it.
Thank you, Ann.
One second. Jason, didn't Intanisla act as a mediator between the neighbors at one time? That's what we were told years ago.
Tennis
It's usually a staff member and sometimes a board member. So it doesn't always, she's just usually the one that has, but I've sat in on a few as well. So it's just kind of who's available. Yeah, so is Bob. So I know Lori, when she was on the board, sat in on a few as well. So yeah, usually it's a staff member and a board member, or a staff member, however the parties like to have it.
You like you say that. So
If there's nothing else. Yes, Marcia. Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Right.
No, topic.
Yeah, it's then.